I worked at a place when I first got to California in Santa Monica that was real famous at the time called the Great American Food and Beverage Company. And I had no waiter skills. I don't know what those would even be.
It's his agent over there.
I was a maitre d'. And
oh, you were a maitre d'?
And I used to go around screaming impressions. And I did like 3 impressions. I did Hubert Humphrey, Richard Nixon, and I think William F. Buckley Jr. So I would seat the people as like, "Good evening, my fellow Americans. Let me, of course, say that I'm so horny I could eat the taillights off a dump truck. How about a nice steak?" And then I'd sit them down, and then...
What about Buckley? How would Buckley seat people down?
I'd like 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on a delicious sesame seed, a roll.
When you
I feel like we're doing the news here together, sort of. You know? Here's what's happening in downtown Manhattan today.
So you got your start in showbiz kind of from your dad. Your dad was like a well-known magician.
You read the bio, didn't you?
Yeah,
You actually
sure.
spent some time getting bored to sleep.
I mean, I wanted to know, it's like, it wasn't very impressive, I mean, word-wise, but the way they typed it up. I mean, it was like the crappiest typewriter.
When you got your mom working for you, it's tough. Anyway, my dad was a magician, but an amateur magician, but very well known. He was internationally known for his skill as a sleight of hand artist.
What they call close-up magic.
Exactly, because there's 2 kinds, close-up, and then guys that go, "Hey kids, look, a rabbit!" So he taught me how to do card tricks and coin tricks, and that's why I went to California to go out to a place called the Magic Castle.
Yeah, tell me about that. I've never been there.
Pretty neat place out there. It used to be pretty much exclusively magicians, and it became a real Hollywood place. You'd go there and you'd see Carson there, maybe performing, doing a little improv. Cary Grant used to be a frequent member, and lots of celebrities.
Carson, when he had his big-time show that he's got now,
he might walk in and, "Hey, this is, I'd like a little entertainment for the evening. Geez, how about taking a card?" And you go, you do a card trick for someone, and it was neat. It was very impromptu and very serendipity. And so you could go in there, and what the hell does that mean? Look at this guy sitting here going,
Somebody have a thesaurus, please.
It was just a great place to be, and then it changed kind of. It went from being a place that was a real kind of exclusive sort of Hollywood place to just, guys from Detroit going, "Geez, I hope we can get eggs here."
Really?
Yeah.
So it's still out there. It's just not like it was.
It actually it still is one of the neatest places in Hollywood. If you're going to ever go to Hollywood, and you have to know a member to get in, it's still considered a private club. It's an awful lot of fun.
That's pretty cool. So you started out in Hollywood doing magic, and then you decided to crack a few jokes during your magic act.
No, I was going nowhere doing
magic. Really?
I was sitting around there just boring guys to tears, and so one night I got up at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, the now famous Comedy Store. It wasn't so famous then. There was only about 4 guys working the place, and then about a year later I started doing like the Merv Griffin show and things like that. Then
Yeah,
the
that was your
Tonight Show.
big break, right, Merv? You do a Merv imitation?
No. He's an author. He's a writer. I'm making so much money off Wheel of Fortune. It was one of the big. I mean, there was Carson, which was the pinnacle. If you did Carson, you could kill yourself. There was nothing left to do in your life.
Right.
And then, of course, there was Merv, and in 1975, that was a hot show to be on Merv. So I did 3 of those, and then proceeded to get into a sleeping bag for a few years, and things kind of got a little lame. And then
That must be frustrating, huh? I mean, you're right up there, you're doing Merv, you're making good money, the checks are coming in, and then woo!
Oh yeah, you make loads from doing Merv.
Well, more than you're making tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of tells you a little about where the career really is going, but. That was a lot of fun, and that was my, your dad gets to see you on TV for the first time.
Yeah, all the relatives.
Yeah, and my dad was very excited. He didn't want me to go out and do show business at all. He wanted me to be a doctor. My dad was one of those guys that was still sort of pissed off from World War II. He had his pants up around his neck. He'd shake when he'd get anxious, and he'd threaten me with metaphors like, "Listen, you little bastard, I'll flip you like a cheese omelet. Come over here." He'd get so mad, coffee would actually come shooting out of his nose. It was.
Is your dad still around?
No, he is, and he's with me every time I perform. But
You drew a lot of your act from your dad.
yeah,
huh?
I
From
did. I
his
did.
mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I was his only child, so he affected me a great deal.
Yeah. Did he live long enough to see you?
Yeah.
Do all right?
Yeah, he did. Actually, he saw me get my own show on NBC, and then subsequently some things after that.
Are we talking about Pink Lady and Jeff?
Oh.
The Fred Silverman.
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
about that. How many years ago was that?
Boy, that's strange. Those girls were back in Japan. Are going, what? Freddie Silverman? Shmooah!
Yeah, but you've done a lot of stuff on TV. What about working with Cosby back? Not the new Cosby.
That was
but
really
back
the
in
first.
ABC.
That was the first job I ever had.
What was he like working with you? Teach you some stuff?
He of course everything he does. He just approaches very slowly and very methodically, and it's very well thought out. Unfortunately, the concept for the show wasn't well thought out. It was a Sunday night show on ABC.
Yeah.
If you ever remember thinking back to the time Bill Cosby was driving around in this big tennis sneaker on Sunday nights, it only lasted 5 weeks. And there was a lot of, or 6 weeks, I guess. And there was a lot of interesting regulars. Tim Thomerson was a regular on the show, and Willie Bobo, who's now was a late great jazz artist who's no longer here, and Marion Ramsey, one of the girls from Police Academy, and of course Bill, and then guest stars every week. And it was just a variety show with sketches and stuff, and I participated. And he said, "No, dude, don't do it that way, man. You know, stay here, come here, stand here, man. It's funnier if you're not going to say anything. At least it's funnier when you're standing there." So I learned a lot.
Yeah. What about some of the other TV stuff? What are some of your favorite TV stories? WKRP?
Well, I
or,
did a lot of episodes of
Archie's
stuff.
Bunker? Anything that really stands out?
No.
Really? Mary Hartman?
No, these people here
Classic.
sitting here going, I never saw him on nothing. But see, but everybody here will remember my Bud Light commercial with the dogs jumping through the hoop where I say, "Showtime."
That's right. Or the Wendy's commercial? No?
No.
Wendy's?
No. Wendy's? Oh, no, that was years ago.
Right guard?
I'm trying to think of stuff. I remember this summer, you remember a Valvoline commercial I was on where I came up in the camera and I said, "You think motor oil's just motor oil?" And I was making noises and going crazy. And those guys, "I'm still blank. I'm still blank."
What about some of the films? Easy Money?
I was in Easy Money
Everybody
with Rodney.
seen Easy Money? Rodney Dangerfield? There you go. There you go.
Funny you asked me about the car guy selling cars and stuff,
Yeah.
because the character that I played in that was his next door neighbor that tried to sell him dope, and I used the car salesman as kind of the motivation for the part.
Oh, yeah?
Just a fast talking guy, kind of like this, hey, he wants give a little Tutsarutsky, a little joint here, a little joint there, baby, whatever you need.
What's Rodney like to work with?
He is exactly the way you see him. He's, hey, I'll tell you, hey, let me tell you, when you're doing this, hey, I'll tell you, it's rough. I remember walking in here just a few minutes ago, I saw this big dog, licking himself like dogs do, So I turned to my friend, I said, "Boy, I sure wish I could do that." He said, "Well, go and pet him, maybe he'll let you, but I'll tell you, rough, really rough. He's doing jokes every second.
Oh, non-stop, huh?
Non-stop.
He's on every second.
I did an HBO special with him last year.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld, myself, and Sam Kinison.
Yep.
People are going to remember me from seeing me either on the HBO things or seeing me on Letterman.
Robert
Letterman.
Klein stuff? Yeah, Letterman's a big thing. Last time I saw you on Letterman, you were insane, man.
What was I doing?
I thought David was going to have to knock you out with the right cross or something. I don't know, he just was telling you, "Jeff, calm down. It's all right, just calm down." You were jumping up and down out of your seat. You were playing the old man.
Oh, yeah?
You're doing the old man a lot.
So I guess you saw the show get sort of been like 82.
No, I swear to God.
You tuned in last in 82.
It was recently. How do you like doing the Letterman show?
It's really the best format, I think, on TV for a comedian who understands how to do the show. It's hard nobody does well on that show every time. It's very, very subtle in terms of how you're going to deliver what you have to say to people, because it's hard on that show to be funnier than Dave and the show, people don't realize how funny he is. You don't see him at his.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you do. I guess it's his funniest. He is. No, I'm thinking because I sort of started off my career with him. We go back 10 years together. We're very good friends, and every time.
Comedy Store, way back.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he may come up and we may see him before the weekend is over.
Oh, great.
He lives in this area.
Yeah, New Canaan, Connecticut.
It's right there. Yeah. All he'd have to do is mention an address, and he'd watch this and go, "Could you be a little more private, Dave?" But he's just about the funniest person I've ever spent, just sitting and talking. We went to buy, this is great, this is a great story. Do we have another few seconds?
Sure.
We went to buy a car. He wanted to go out and price a Porsche out in Woodland Hills, California.
Now, how long ago was this?
6 months ago.
He's got it. I saw it. It's beautiful.
Yes, but he wanted to price a new one. He
Okay.
wanted to see what a new one. You know, he's not going 50 cents. You know, he's got plenty of dough for everything. So, so we go out to this place, and you know they see Letterman, so they're going to see people talking and stuff. So first of all, the head salesman comes out, and he talks. He says, "Dave, we certainly enjoy seeing you here at the dealership, and we like your show." Then the assistant manager comes out. "Dave, we're hoping that we can interest you in one of our products." And finally, the general manager of the whole place walks out, and in an attempt to sell him this Porsche, which they were about $1,000 away on price, he goes, "Dave, we'd like to see you drive one of our cars home." And Dave leans over and he goes, "See, you don't understand. I'm not interested in making you salesman of the month." You know, and I just hit the dirt. You know, this guy walked out like, "I'm going to close this deal." And Letterman just dropped him. It was great.
He's a nut. I saw him walking around in a little town here just like 2 weeks ago.
Aimlessly, probably looking for friends.
Yeah. He's got like the hat on and the glasses. He's looking down. I stopped him. I go, "Dave." I met him once. He goes, "Hey, Chris." I go, "How you been?" He goes, "Oh, I've been in prison." I go, "That's too bad." He goes, "Oh, it wasn't too bad. Only 90 days." He says, he's just like so off the wall, goofy, wacky guy.
Yeah,
what about Carson? He doesn't like talk to you too much around the show, does he?
I haven't done Carson in quite a while. They're a little bit similar. I know Dave real well, but I don't know Carson at all. I've been at a couple functions where one night they had thrown a party for the late drummer Buddy Rich, who was a friend of mine, and I happened to be there, and Carson was there. And of course, you know, when Carson's one of those like big, huge stars, you just stand around and going, "Yeah, I hope I can say hi." And so I tried to make a joke. He was standing at a big buffet line, and I walked over and I go, "You got a ticket for that?" And he looked at me like I was a dead person, completely ignored me, and he went like this. He went, "Yeah, what is it? Full meal, big food, huh? Good." And just walked away. You know what you need to do here? You need to switch cameras more. You need to go back and forth a little more, man. This side of my face is here. This side of my face is here. Do you see a small parakeet in my nose right now? No, it's over here.
Why don't you guys, when you get on Letterman's show, why don't you guys do any stand-up? I mean, some guys do, but most of the guys just come over and they rap. How come you don't do a little stand-up, then come on over and rap?
I'll tell you why. Some guys are better at doing, I think, for instance, a guy like Jerry Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. No, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's great.
Jerry is terrific, and his comedy lends itself perfectly for that kind of thing. Mine does to a degree, but I'm more of a nightclub comedian. And I actually do a completely different thing when I'm sitting on the panel with Letterman than I do in my stand-up act. It's it's much more cerebral than what I do in my act.
So we're going to get to see your stand-up act, what, the Treehouse Cafe this weekend?
Treehouse Cafe.
You're on tonight.
Tonight I'm getting ready to just go back over there and walk on stage. And tomorrow night, one show at 9 o'clock. 2 shows Friday night at 9 and 11. And then 3 shows on Saturday at
8, 10, 15.
Holy cow.
8, 10, 8.
Managers over there. Well, if you want to see Jeff Altman live in action,
Or I'll come to your home on Sunday.
On Sunday, you'll come to your home. So when we put up the address later on, you write to us and we'll set it up for you. Hey, I want to thank you for
This is a great show. It really is a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Let's have a big round of applause. Jeff Altman.